solutions. It's the Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. This is the Ramsey Show. We help people build wealth, do work that they really love, and create actual amazing relationships. It's a show about your life and your money. We're glad you're here. George Camel, Ramsey personality, host of Entree Leadership and the Fine Print podcasts on the Ramsey Network, is my co-host today. Open phones here as we talk about your life and your money. The phone number is 888-825-5225. 888-825-5225. Mike is with us. Mike is in Irvine, California to start off this hour. Hey, Mike, how are you?
Good morning, Dave. Good morning, George. Pleasure to speak with you both. It's an honor.
You too. How can we help, sir?
So I just had a question. I've been on baby step 4, 5, and 6 for a few years now while trying to passively save up for a down payment. I'm 34 years old, and I've already managed to save for retirement about $80,000 in my Roth 401k. However, since I live in Southern California with rising interest rates and home appreciation, the market, I feel, is kind of outpacing the rate at which I can passively save for the down payment on the side while investing. So I'm thinking about stepping back to baby step 3B so that I can really turn on the fire so that I can meet this goal.
Cool. What do you make?
I make about $120,000 a year.
Okay, cool. How much you got saved so far for your house?
About 30.
Okay. How long you been working on it?
After I got my emergency fund saved up, about 1.5 years. So I can basically, without accounting for any windfalls, I can put about $20,000. Or I guess that's if I stop saving or stop investing. I've got about $30,000.
It took how long to build the $30,000 is what I was asking.
Oh, 5 years.
Oh, wow, forever.
Yes.
When you said passive, you meant it. Okay.
Yeah. In order to invest about 15% of my income, I basically don't have a lot of income left over to
So you're in a, as you said, a high price real estate market. So you are the situation where I would just pull back into a 3B, temporarily stop your baby step 4 and just pile the money up for your down payment. And then you could considerably increase it. I mean, that would add $25,000 a year to the program. Yeah.
So basically, if I step back to 3B, I'd be able to save about $20,000 a year, meaning about 5 years, I'd have an additional $100,000 to put towards the down payment.
No, that's not true. You would save a lot more than that because you're putting that much in at 15% of your income.
$30,000 took 5 years.
No, honey, 15% of 120 is more than 25,000, and you're already putting money in. So your entire 15% is going to be almost $20,000, okay, plus whatever you've been doing. So you should be putting in $30,000.
Sure.
Okay. Cool.
So are you investing 15% of your gross income currently?
I have been. Yes. That's how I was able to save up to $80,000 in my Roth.
Yeah, I mean that would equal to $18,000 extra you have to pile on. I want that done in way faster than 5 years. Do you have a goal for the down payment currently?
My goal is about anywhere from 100 to 150.
Okay. And then how much is the house going to be in your area?
Probably around 5, 6. Condos have gone up in price over the last couple of years, so they're starting they're kind of equaling for a 2-bedroom condo about 6.5.
Okay, because that still means you'd have about $500,000 mortgage. So I would still crunch the numbers and make sure that this is going to be around a quarter of your take-home pay on a 15-year fixed, and that will help dictate the down payment.
Bottom line is, I would do what you're suggesting. Let's pull back to the 3B.
So with that, I kind of had a follow-up question with stepping back to 3B and trying to figure out the best place to hold this cash in order to save it. I know I've watched previous videos of yours on the subject, and I know that you recommend mutual funds or an S&P index fund with the goal of netting around 10 to 12%.
That would not be for a 3-year investment or a 4-year investment. That's for long term.
Okay.
So shorter than that, it's going to be a high yield savings account, money market account, not going to be gaining a lot of interest.
Correct. Now, but the question, and I know what I'm about to ask might be a little taboo, but I think the goal of what I'm trying to ask is, my employer offers the 401k with a 25% match, and I discovered that I can take a hardship withdrawal, which will allow me to withdraw that money for the purchase of a primary residence where I would pay a 10% penalty on the early withdrawal and any taxes on the matches, or any taxes on the match or the gains. But if I deposited, let's just say $100,000 of my post-tax money, I could then withdraw that $100,000, take the 10% penalty, and I would still be at a net profit of a 15% match, regardless of the time. If I did it in 3 years, if I did it in 5 years, if I did it in 10 years, that would still, if I withdrew what I deposited, I would pay 10% on what I deposited and net a 15%.
Yeah.
I know.
Number one, buying a house is not a hardship. So I don't think you qualify for a hardship withdrawal.
I've talked to my 401k provider. The purchase of a primary residence does fall under hardship withdrawal.
Wow. What a provider. Okay. Well, the answer is still, you're right, it's taboo. And the reason it's taboo is when you start monkeying around with your future retirement plan in order to buy a house, you've stepped over the line into desperate. And anytime I get desperate, I generally get stupid. And I've done it a bunch in my life. I try not to get desperate for that reason, because right after that's stupid, and right after my stupid is I have less money. So you've calculated all this out to where you have a net positive effect. What you left out was the fact that you neutered your retirement plan while you were doing it. And you just stripped it all away. And so, no, we're going to leave your retirement plan alone. And here's the other thing you have left out of your entire set of assumptions: an increase in income in the next 3 to 5 years. Which you should have, because you're one of the people that stayed in California. And so while roughly 1 million people left California and New York in the last 14 months. And so we don't know exactly what that's going to do to real estate prices long term. I'm not predicting a California crash, but I am predicting a shortage of labor, particularly skilled labor at your level. Because guess who left California? It weren't broke people, baby. It was the people that were producing and didn't want to pay the taxes and didn't want to live in that woke environment. And so where they've lost their minds. And so that's what you're left with. And so you really are, you've become a really good commodity, you and of yourself, for staying there. It's a great place to work because there's a shortage of your type of labor. And so I think your income's going to go up dramatically.
That's what I was thinking. The part of the equation we can control here is our income. And that might mean a side job for now. I don't know what that looks like, if it's worth switching careers. I mean, it seems like he's happy where he's at. But if you can make $150, that changes the numbers on this down payment situation.
The other thing, Mike, is you have to be careful, and you're very good at analyzing these things. You have good critical thinking skills. Everything you displayed in the conversation was actually logical. You did a good job of laying it out and presenting it, which is hard to do when you're on the radio. It's kind of nerve-wracking. So you did a real good job, but that tells me you're a detail guy, and be careful to not get so far down in the details that you miss common sense. And in the analytics that you miss common sense. You need to do both, and you've done a good job with it. I'm complimenting you on that. But common sense says don't use your retirement for your house purchase. This is The Ramsey Show. Look, I love real estate, and I want you to have a house, but I don't want a house to have you. That's why you need to get in touch with Churchill Mortgage to make sure you do this right. These guys are awesome. They'll help you get on a smarter mortgage plan because they're committed to doing what's right for you. That means they check in every year with free consultations to help you stay on the right plan. They show you how to save money and interest so you can build wealth faster. They walk you through the total cost of your loan so you can make the best choice. Basically, they care. That's why we call them Ramsey Trusted. You can achieve debt-free home ownership, and Churchill is here to help. Go to their site, churchillmortgage.com/Ramsey, to start your approval or get more information. Open phones this hour. George Camel, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. The phone number here is 888-825-5225. How many times have you found yourself saying one day when you're thinking about a goal you have? One day I'll buy a house. One day I'll have a happy career. One day I won't have to battle with anxiety anymore. Stop waiting around with your one day and start right now. This is why we created Smart Conference. Smart Conference is a one day, oddly enough, event where we tackle all of your areas of your life. Guys, let's face it, we could all use that kind of boost right now. You hear from the nation's top thought leaders on money, career, mental health, relationships, marriage, leadership. This event's hitting the road. Will be in Dallas, Texas on Saturday, October 22nd. Event passes are selling fast. Best-selling authors and world-class speakers will be on each of the subjects. Rachel Cruz, Dr. John Deloney, Ken Coleman, George Camel, Christina Ellis, Craig and Amy Groeschel speaking on marriage from Life Church. And we'll be talking about career. We'll be talking about leadership. We'll be talking about money. We'll be talking about mental health. We're going to be dealing with everything. And when you leave, you will be smarter. It's October 22nd. Event passes are selling fast. The VIP and Platinum are already gone, but you can still get general admissions for $39. They're available right now at RamseySolutions.com. So get your event passes today. Our question of the day comes from Blinds.com. Satisfaction guaranteed. They have a 100% satisfaction guarantee. That means even if you mismeasure, you pick the wrong color, you screw up, it's a you screwed up guarantee. They'll remake your blinds for free. Free samples, free shipping, the new promos they run every month. You'll save even more. Always check these guys out. They are absolutely amazing. Blinds.com.
Today's question comes from Rashad in Washington, D.C. I was wondering if there is a baby step 8 that could help listeners reach a level of wealth in the tens of millions and leave a legacy that can benefit our children and grandchildren and promote amazing generosity. Well, good news for Rashad, it exists, and it's the baby step right before it. Baby step 7, build wealth and give. And that can look different for a lot of people. Some people, that could be $1 million. For you, I hope it's tens of millions, and I hope you leave a legacy and you give outrageously generous and you leave an inheritance to your children's children, as Proverbs says. So absolutely, Dave, this can be done, and it's some of the most inspiring parts of this whole plan.
Well, here's what happens. The first 5 to 10 million of net worth that someone gets, which, by the way, if you have a $10 million net worth and it's producing 10%, that's $1 million a year income. Okay, you can change your family tree and be outrageously generous and impact your entire community with $1 million a year. Okay, so you can get there for sure. All right, but you know, investing in your 401k, your home, maybe a couple of rental properties. That's what the typical person does in our studies of actual millionaires in that first 5 to 10 million. To go from 10 million to say 100 million. Which you would start to look then at billionaires as an example, which would be, 10 times 100 million, or 1,000 million is a billion, is that right?
Yes.
That's a lot of difference, okay? So all of your Forbes 400, for instance, are billionaires. None of them became billionaires with their 401k or paying off their home. None of them. Okay, they didn't become billionaires doing that. They, in virtually every case, owned or operated or took public a large company. In virtually every case. Oprah, Walmart family, Chick-fil-A family. You go down the list, and Dell, Gates, of course, Warren Buffett. But in every case, they had an idea. And I know a guy who's worth several billion, and he makes parts for cell phones, but they grew the company huge-o and took it public or didn't and made the cash flow off of it.
Or sold a company.
So generally to go from the 10, 15 million up into the stratosphere, so to speak, you truly are a 1%er then, okay? You're a tenth of a percenter then. But it's generally you take some of the money that you have made and some of it somehow grows exponentially. And so, in our case, my net worth is considerably more than 10 million. And so, the building we're sitting in is, the building complex here is worth a couple of $100 million. and it's all paid for. So just to give you an idea. So that's, but did we get there with our 401k? No. I mean, I've sold 25 million books. I own a huge business that makes a lot of money and helps a lot of people. And so that's what ends up happening to get into that stratosphere. But the point is this. The thing he's trying to do is create a generosity movement. And if you'll start where you are with generosity today, and every time you make more, increase your generosity, you're going to see your opportunities increase as well. And your opportunities I remember the first time I made $10,000 and my tithe check was $1,000. Man, I thought I was the most
Big
spiritual
baller.
dude on the planet. I just gave $1,000. Me and God. I'm helping God out here. To which God is laughing at my little $1,000 gift, right?
You thought you'd get an extra jewel on the crown.
He's like, look at that grain of sand. He thinks he's something. And, but I really was proud of myself. I just gave $1,000 away, man, to the church.
And to
I
your
am
credit,
a spiritual dude.
Giving feels good.
But
so
it does feel good, but I was pretty arrogant about it, is what I'm saying. I'm being a little too authentic here, but I really did. I felt really, but the first time you do, but the thing is, get used to doing that and get the rhythm of that. The more money you make, the more money you give. The more money you make, the more money you give. And constantly be doing that. And you will find yourself starting to impact entire sectors around you and change your family tree. But $10 million to change your family tree.
Oh, yeah.
You don't have to have 100.
What I'm hearing is don't wait until you go, well, when I have this much money, then I'll start giving. Give today with what you got, and you can ramp it up over time.
Because it's a muscle you need to build and a rhythm. Because my point is, the first time I gave $100, I thought it was a lot. Then the first time I gave $1,000, and then we had, year before last, we gave $1 million in one day. Remember that?
That's right.
Remember that? That was fun.
Around Christmas time.
Yeah, it was a blast. We had so much fun doing that. So that was trippy. And then I kind of had the same thing. Like, I just gave away $1 million, but it wasn't even my money. It was God's money. So then I had to get over myself, so that kind of stuff. But it's a process, but the muscle built gradually over time. I didn't go from I don't give anything to $1 million in one day. And so you build it over time. But that's a beautiful question. What a beautiful spirit.
I know. I love that.
Rashad?
Love the heart behind
Excellent
it.
stuff.
Thanks.
Excellent stuff. Jerry's in New York. Hey, Jerry, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, Dave. How are y'all doing today?
Better than we deserve, sir. How can we help?
Yeah, so I'm curious what your opinions are on moving and taking a pay cut for a partner. So, little context, my girlfriend of about a year and a half just finished her master's program in education, and now she wants to teach English in Europe for a while before officially starting her career in the States. And she wants me to join her, and my job will let me go. They'll help with visas and everything, but the pay is location-based, so I'd be dropping from about $125K in New York to about $75K in Europe.
You love this
and
girl.
And also, I do.
How long you been dating?
I'm like,
$50K, dude.
about a year and a half.
A year and a half.
This is a serious dadgum relationship. $50,000.
Yeah. And so I'm also about 2 years into my mortgage on my apartment here, and I wasn't really planning on leaving until I met her. So now I'm ready to lay roots in New York kind of, but she's done with it because it's just way too expensive for teachers in New York. And she's not sure if she wants to live in New York when she comes back to the States. So it kind of feels like this decision, this ultimatum. Do I sacrifice my life, my income, and everything?
Ooh, I don't like the word ultimatum where there's $50,000 worth of love involved.
Is that how it was presented to you? Either you move or this is over?
She definitely is done with the city and ready for another place to live, and we do traveling together. So
this might be the red flag you needed.
You're more into her than she is into you.
Say that one more time?
I said you're more into her than she is into you.
I don't think I'm making this move.
She's gonna ditch New York and you with it. You're gonna ditch New York to follow her. I don't know, man. I'm just an old man. I ain't dated in years. I don't know how to tell you what to do with this. You got to decide how much this is gonna work. If you were my little brother or my nephew or something, I would tell you don't go unless you're married.
Agreed. And I would say tread with caution.
Then it's worth the sacrifice. Because now this is a bet for life. It's not a bet for a weekend fling in Europe.
What if she meets a nice European man on a Vespa? We don't know what's going to happen here. Hope you can match up to that.
Whoa. Chaos. That's what it can feel like when your business is growing so fast you've outgrown your financial and accounting software. The faster you grow, the more likely you are to lose control of the numbers. And here's the reality. If you don't know your numbers, you don't know your business. That's why we use Netsuite by Oracle, the #1 cloud financial system. Over 28,000 companies use Netsuite by Oracle, including Ramsey Solutions, because Netsuite gives us a single view of everything we need to make daily decisions. Whether you're making a few million to hundreds of millions a year, NetSuite gives you the visibility and control of the things you need to grow, like your financials, inventory, HR, planning, budgeting, and more, all in one dashboard. Go to netsuite.com/Ramsey right now to get their free white paper. Jumpstart your CFO career. George Camel, Ramsey personality, is my co-host today. Bill is on the line. Bill is in Oregon. Hey, Bill, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Good to have you, sir. I see on my screen you're debt-free. Congratulations. How much did you pay off?
$189,000.
All right. How long did this take you?
About 10 years altogether.
Okay. And your range of income then during that 10 years?
I went from $60,000, and then Social Security kicked in, along with some raises, and I was up to $112,000. Or now I'm up to $112,000.
Social Security kicked in. How old are you?
I'm 70.
Ah, cool. Okay. What kind of debt was the 189?
House and car mostly, with some miscellaneous things thrown in there.
Okay. So at 60 years old or so, something rings the bell, and you go, I got to get this mess cleaned up. Tell me your Ramsey story. How'd you get to connect to the Ramsey way?
Well, about 12 years ago, I listened to Financial Peace University, and it made a lot of sense. And so I went about, and there were a lot of financial issues at the time, a divorce, and I lost half my retirement, and I had 3 kids to raise on my own. So there were a lot of financial issues at the time, and it just made sense to get out of as much debt as I possibly could. I think the biggest mistake that I made, other than taking out my retirement to help raise the kids, the biggest mistake I made was not developing and maintaining an emergency fund.
So the divorce happened a lot longer than 12 years ago.
Yeah, I think it happened. I think it's about 17 years ago.
Okay. All right. And so you were in your 50s at that point.
Right.
And the kids were how old?
14, 12, and 10.
Wow. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
So they're all grown now. They're all grown and hopefully off the payroll now, right?
Hey, they're grown. They're wonderful human beings. All college graduates, all self-sufficient, and all follow your principles as well.
Wow, you did a good job. Well done, Bill.
Thank you.
Bill, I'm curious, because for a lot of people, they feel like it's too late for them. And I love your story because here you are, at 70, totally debt-free, house and everything. What do you say to that person who might be in their 50s and their 60s going, well, I've made too many money mistakes. I got too much baggage. I can't clean this up now.
I don't think it's ever too late to clean it up. I think that when I decided to kick in full gear and say, I've got to have that emergency fund, that's critical. That I would say to those people, it's never too late. Just start following the steps, and even the baby step one of $1,000 in your emergency fund. It's a huge step. And you feel good about it, and you start feeling good about your finances instead of it always being a negative point.
Yeah, there's something about that confidence and that sense of I did something, I'm in control for the first time, that moves the needle on everything else, doesn't it?
Right. And my budget in the past was essentially my paycheck.
Yeah.
So
spend it till it's gone.
Budget, sticking with it.
Yeah.
It's gone. There's more money.
Okay, so you're 70 years old, $189,000 paid off. You're 100% debt free, house and everything.
Right.
How's that feel?
It feels wonderful. It feels fantastic. I paid it off in June, and I'm still on a little bit of a high.
I love it.
So, Bill, did you have a vision for what I want retirement to look like? And obviously, you're still working and you're still healthy,
right.
which is awesome. But did you have that
right.
vision in your mind of here's why I'm doing this? I want to retire with dignity.
Yeah. I think that was part of it. I also had my significant other came into my life, and she essentially said, "You're going to this seminar, and you need to get some things straightened up, or
wow,
I'm hitting the road."
Another ultimatum.
That was an extra impetus.
What seminar was it?
Financial Peace University.
Oh, that's awesome. So she got you on board.
Right, and where I had both feet in instead of just one.
Wow.
So,
behind every great man is a woman forcing them to go to Financial Peace University. There you go.
There it is.
Exactly.
I love it. Way to go, Bill. We're proud of you, man.
Thank you.
What do you tell people the key to getting out of debt is?
I think it's following the Financial Peace University principles and just being disciplined. And I think that you start you start enjoying following those principles because they really work, and you start realizing I don't owe on my car anymore. Oh wow, I don't owe on this loan anymore. Oh wow, I've paid this off. That's great. I think one of the biggest joys is as soon as I got a substantial I'm having a brain cramp. A substantial
a raise?
fund. No,
an emergency fund.
Emergency. Sorry, thank you, David. As soon as I got a substantial emergency fund going, a hot water heater and a dishwasher went out.
Of course.
And I went down and bought them in cash, and I felt good about it. It was like, oh yeah, I could do this. That's not
turns an emergency into an inconvenience. Well, well done, sir.
That was pretty good about it. So anyway.
Well done. We got a copy of Baby Steps Millionaires for you, How Ordinary People Built Extraordinary Wealth, how you can too. I'm proud of you. You went and did it, man. You left the cave, killed something, and drug it home. We're going to send you a 1-year membership to Financial Peace University. You've been through it. You know what it does. Maybe you know somebody that needs to go through it. You can give it to them. And also the same thing with the book, The Total Money Makeover. I'm going to send you one of those as well. So way to go. Bill in Oregon, $189,000 paid off in 10 years, making 60 to 112. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
1, 2. Oh, I got to take away from. Hold on. 1, 2, 3. I am debt-free.
Yeah! That's how that's done. Don't tell me it's too late.
Never too late.
Don't tell me it's too late. I'll just show you Bill.
If you can fog a mirror, it's not too late.
That's it. Well done, sir. Very well done. Excellent, excellent job. All right, Laurel is with us. Laurel is in Chicago. Hey, Laurel, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, Dave. Thank you so much for taking my call. I'm a first-time caller, and actually I'm brand new to all of this Ramsey stuff.
Cool.
Sorry to call it stuff. We are having our first baby September 4th, and I got a little bit triggered and realized we really need to get serious about our finances. I have never felt like we're behind, but I definitely don't feel like we're ahead. So my question is, for someone in our position where we are embarking on a huge life shift and simultaneously wanting to change how we manage our money, what's the quickest way to save with the arrival of the baby and boost our income?
Nothing like a baby to give you a wake-up call.
Oh, my gosh, yes.
This got real. This just got real.
Are you saying like 20 days from now?
Oh, my gosh, you know.
Yeah, you're going to baby any minute.
It's like 20 days from now.
Oh, yeah. You guys, seriously, it's so scary.
Yeah.
How much do you have saved currently?
Okay, so we have $3,500 in cash. We have $12,000 in a savings account. And then we have about like $40,000 in investments in precious metals.
Cool. All right. How much in precious metals?
18,000.
Okay. All right. Do you really want to know what I would do today?
I do. I really do.
Okay. I don't know if you're going to do it. I'd cash out the precious metals today. I'd put the cash in a savings account. I would pay minimum payments on all your debt and don't do anything fancy and see how big a pile of cash you can have between now and September 3rd. And then start working the baby steps.
Okay.
And I'm going to send you a 1-year membership to Financial Peace University. You can start after you get home with baby. You and your husband can go through that. You're about to change this kid's family tree because you're a good mom. I'm proud of you. This is The Ramsey Show. Ramsey Personality is my co-host today. Thank you for joining us. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Rich is with us in Chicago. Hi, Rich. Welcome to The Ramsey Show.
Hi, George and Dave. Thanks for having me on. I have a quick question about allocating funds into a 529 plan. My wife and I are just coming up here at the end of baby step 3 and looking into 4, 5, and 6. We're a little older. My children are sophomore in high school, freshman in high school, and then 6th grade. And curious as to how to best invest in our 529 plans going forward. They do have a current investment balance, but I'm just curious, should I invest all my money now into the older?
What's the current balance?
Around $125,000 total among all 3.
Okay, so they got like $40,000 each. All right, and what's your household income?
Around $220,000.
That's good news. Okay, cool. All right, so
I'm looking to invest about $2,500 a month, and I'm not sure if it should all go into one account, if I should split it among the 3, or what's the best way to think about this.
Doesn't matter much because the 529 can be transferred to a sibling anyway. So if you don't use it, so if you don't use it, you dump it all in the oldest one and you don't use it, you can roll it down to the next one and so on, if you wanted to. So here's the thing: $30,000. You're not going to have enough in these accounts to pay for the kids' colleges. You're going to be cash flowing some of it.
Understood.
With $30,000 a year for 6 years.
Right. I mean, we know that that's going to be part of it, but at the same time, we don't want to have to sacrifice our retirement.
No, I didn't want you to. I want you to put 15% of your income into retirement. And so here's my point. Okay, we've got to have other things in this equation other than just saving for 529 to get your kids through college. Number one, college choice is the most important part of the equation on whether you can afford to go to college or not, because you can send them to an in-state school for $10,000 to $12,000 average annual tuition across America, or you can send them to a private average annual for $25,000. You can't afford $25,000 times 3. You're not going to have that much money. Your kids aren't going to private schools.
Unless there's scholarships or something.
Aha, there we go. See, now we're thinking. I got you. Okay, you're moving. Or unless they get really great jobs, but more than anything, it's scholarships. Okay, and so they need to start working on scholarships, and now the 6th grader does. And not actually ordering them, but thinking about them, because here's what Christina Ellis would tell you. She's going to tell you that the sophomore is pretty late in the game, but the rest of them, grades matter. And now grades equal money. is what this amounts to. So, you getting a good grade is just not making daddy proud. This is about whether you have money to go to school. So you need to get your little butt in the books. Let's go. Game on, buddy. Game on. Here we go. Number 1. Number 2, plan on working. Number 3, plan on going to a school that is affordable. And start indoctrinating the kiddos right now with all of those 3 things. Scholarships, school choice, work. And then you do all you can, which is $30,000 a year right now. And you can do $30,000 cash flow, and cash flow is state school on the last kid. That'll get them into that'll run the last one through, without having saved anything. And so, I don't care which of the 529s you dump it in with that in mind.
Have you had a conversation with any of the kids, Rich, especially the older ones, about what college looks like?
Yeah, going through the process. I'm actually an FPU coordinator right now, so we make them watch the videos the week before I teach the class with us. And we've watched the documentary on borrowed future.
Oh, you
and
did?
Everything. So
I was going to send you a link to it.
They're very well versed on everything.
Well, that should startle them enough to have the right conversations and go, debt, how are we going to pay for this? We got to have a plan. I want to go to school debt free. And that is the number one factor, because when debt is off the table, they're going to get creative. And you're going to go, here's what I can do, here's what you need to do.
Yeah, you're way ahead of the game with all that, because what I was afraid of when I was talking to you until you told me all that, or told George all that, was you're making really good money, so you're running around with people, and your kids are running around with people whose kids are going to very expensive schools.
Correct.
Yeah. And so, my daughter's going to Northwestern. Well, you're my kid, isn't? Sorry. And so, that's what our kids heard. You're going to a state school? Oh, my. You're never going to be successful. And all 3 of my kids make more than that snotty person who said that. So, but, that's the thing. That's the thing you run into, because the group you run around with affects this bad. If you come out of a blue-collar working neighborhood, just getting into college is awesome. That's where I came from, right? And the fact that I got in surprised everybody, much less could pay for it. And so, it was because it wasn't norm, but the norm is the haughty-toddy,
But your environment, your parenting, it shapes a lot of that. When
you're doing a great job
when your kids hate you,
all that.
They go, I want to get as far away from mom and dad as possible, so I'm going to go all the way across the country to a private school.
But listen to what he did. He got them to watch the class in Financial Peace on here's how the college dollars work. Then he watched the documentary, Borrowed Future. He's an FPU coordinator, so he's talking to him about what wise education choices look like, and he's planning a 529. This guy's a genius. He's done it all. You're the total package, Rich, and you're rich, so you got it made. You're rich. Why do you even need this? You're rich.
They're going to be
You
fine.
are the personification. Well done, man. Very well done. I love it. Yeah, so I would throw it, let me think, just to answer your question specifically, given now that we know you did everything right already, where would I put that? I would put it all in the youngest, and I would cash flow the oldest. Because the youngest is going to grow more. It's going to have more. He's got more time to grow the money, and the growth is tax-free in the Roth, and you don't have that benefit from a sophomore. The amount that mutual fund is going to grow in 2 years is not squat.
It's negligible.
If you put $30,000 in there, it's going to grow $6,000 or something. It's not going to be in 2 or 3 years. So you're not going to get enough growth that the fact that it's in a 529 growing tax-free matters mathematically. So I'm going to probably throw the majority of it towards the youngest kid. Actually, I'm probably going to put a little in all of them. I'm probably going to go like 25-5 or something. 20,000 in the little one, 5 in the other 2 older ones, but everybody gets the indoctrination. Where you go to school, there is no single piece of research that correlates credibly where you go to school with whether or not you're successful. Not a single piece of research. None. As a matter of fact, Wall Street Journal did a survey, detailed, in-depth survey. 78% of the top 500 companies traded on the stock markets, CEOs went to state schools. 8 out of 10. Just take that, Harvard and Princeton. Now figure it out, MIT. Okay? They're famous schools, but they do not produce results commensurate with their expense. Now, if you can go to Vanderbilt or Harvard or MIT.
We're not mad at those schools.
I'm not Yale, whoever. Or if you want to go there and you can go there with scholarships, free ride, and you want to go there, sure, I'm not mad at you. Presidents went to Harvard. It's cool. Go. That's fine. President really wasn't on my future plans, nor is it still. So, But here's the thing, and I wasn't planning on being an attorney either. So Harvard Law, right? None of that. But I know lots of attorneys that make $1 million a year that did not go to a school that you've ever heard of.
The point is, success is not determined by that.
Yeah.
Lots of people go to state schools, and they have great jobs, great careers, can get great experience. And very few people have asked me where I went to school, Dave. It's a little upsetting.
Where did you go
Not
to
that I
school?
went to any impressive school.
Where did you go to school,
It's
George?
complicated. We'll talk.
Now we can ask. Now we can ask the question.
University of Mobile, Dave.
You did. That's right.
I finished school there. I went
down there
started
with
in
Jeremy
Boston.
Breland's dad.
That's right.
But
And
you weren't a singer.
No, I stayed out of that. I wanted a real job after school, Dave.
Ooh.
So I got a communications degree, like
Ooh,
Rachel.
there you go.
So I'm
All
up
right.
there with the greats.
Hey,
It worked out. I'm communicating.
and you were just on Fox a minute ago.
That's right before we went on air.
There we
Take
go.
that. Using my communications degree
There you go. You used it. You're using your degree, George.
right now.
That's
live.
just strange. Look at that. And I never asked you where you
And
went.
no one knows that school. It ended up
I
just
do.
fine.
I knew it.
It's
but
famous
I didn't
today.
know it for. I knew it for the singers. Yeah. This is the Ramsey Show.
Do you love a good Dave Rant? Want to see the latest Ramsey Show videos going viral? Check out your favorite moments from The Ramsey Show on YouTube. Go watch and subscribe to The Ramsey Show channel on YouTube.
Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, it's the Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. This is the Ramsey Show. We help people build wealth, do work that they love, and create actual amazing relationships. George Camel, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today as we answer your questions about your life and your money. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Jessica is starting off this hour in Oklahoma City. Hi, Jessica. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing okay. How about you? Thank you so much for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
So I'm currently 31. My husband is 44 and has recently been diagnosed with heart failure. And he has lost his job. He has been approved for Social Security, but we do not have any term life for him. And I have tried all throughout. No one says he's approvable for term life. And I know that you guys are against whole life, but I'm just kind of scared and need to.
If he's not approvable for term life, he's not approvable for whole life.
So it's just I don't have any options except to just kind of.
Whole life doesn't waive medical just because they're a ripoff.
Right.
That doesn't work that way. Wow. So what type of heart failure? How old is he?
He's 44. He has 10% heart function.
Ooh. So he's in line for what? A transplant,
He's
maybe?
right.
Is he in line for a transplant?
He's the cardiologists are thinking that he'll be on the list within the year.
Yeah.
Yes.
My goodness. I'm so sorry. You guys got to be scared out of your minds.
Yeah, with our 2-year-old, we're very scared.
Ooh, baby girl.
How's his health-wise as far as his ability to work?
He's not. I mean, he can't.
No, he's been on
do a lot
disability.
of household chores. Yeah, he's
on disability.
a lot of household chores get him out of breath easily. I mean, it's just kind of been.
Yeah,
it's
they do
taken
me
those
too,
guys
but it's
some
for a different
time.
reason.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my gosh, I'm so
I'm just
sorry,
kind of
kiddo.
scared.
Let me think here. You got a 2-year-old,
Yes,
and what do you make?
I make $44,000
Okay,
a year.
and he's applied for SSI when?
He applied for SSI in April, and it was approved for in July, and he receives it this month for I think like $1,200 per month.
Yeah. Does he have any student loan debt?
He does not. All the debt is on me.
Okay. And how much debt do you have?
$71,000.
Okay. And some of it's on student loans.
$53,000 of it is yes.
Okay.
What's the rest?
The rest is medical bills and mostly just medical bills on my end. Yeah.
All right. Okay, no baby steps. You're in survival mode right now, financially speaking. Okay?
Okay.
I want to pay minimum payments on everything, and I want to pile up cash as high as I can pile it for a while. Now, that may be a year, but for right now, you're in the middle of a crisis. The tornado has hit or is coming at you or whatever we want to call it. Okay? The hurricane is offshore, and they're saying it's coming to your town. Whatever metaphor we want to use here, okay? So I'm going to batten up the hatches. We're going to board up the windows, and we're going to just pile up cash. Because if you had, even if you had the $71,000 in debt, if you had $50,000 in cash in the bank right now, you'd feel different, wouldn't you?
Exactly, yeah.
And you're not going to have $50,000 anytime soon, but I'm just saying that's the point of that suggestion is to get you guys some peace until we get to some resolution on his health. And the resolution is going to be a transplant, probably.
Probably.
I'm not medical, but I mean 10% function is kind of a common sense thing at that point. So, I mean, I'm just that's the hope. That's the good news, wouldn't it be?
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah, and so.
Do you guys have any money right now in savings?
No, or $500.
Okay.
All right. The only kind of insurance that he is eligible for, to go back to your original question, now that we know the source of it, is what's called is where there's no medical requirement, no medical exam. Okay. Mm-hmm. This type of insurance is anywhere from 5 to 20 times more expensive. Do you have a mortgage?
No.
You're renting?
Renting, correct.
Okay. All right. If you had a mortgage, going and getting a mortgage insurance policy is a non-medical. It's 5-6 times more expensive than regular term, but you could call your mortgage company today and that would pay off your mortgage. So that's not an option for you, but for other people listening facing the same thing, let's bring that up. Okay. The other types of automatic issue, guaranteed issue policies are non-medical, are usually low amounts, and per thousand they're expensive, but it would be like call your bank and see if they have a $10,000 policy that's an auto issue. Okay. And then find 5 or 6 of those things and have them around. And it's not enough, and it's not proper financial planning, but it's what's available to you today given these limitations. And you don't have a lot of money to spend on the insurance policy, even if you could get one. But you've been told correctly, he's not insurable. I don't think he's going to get a life insurance policy because life insurance policies are issued based on the statistical evidence of the situation, and they're not going to in this situation. They don't issue. It's very difficult, for instance, if you have a bad case of diabetes, to get life insurance. If you're just came off of chemo, it's hard to get life insurance. Or if you're in chemo, it's impossible to get life insurance. That kind of stuff. So that's the type of thing you're facing because they're just looking. They're just running statistical averages. Is their whole game. So I think you can get a few of these guaranteed issue policies. See if you have any kind of thing through your work that has a group plan that you can add a guaranteed issue on that. A lot of those are you can buy spouse, and if you can buy it on your spouse through your work, and you can get it might be $25,000, it might be $50,000. It's not going to be $500.
Right.
Okay. But again, you can pick that up. And so the word guaranteed issue or no medical is what you're looking for. And that's code for expensive per thousand, but generally a small number of thousands. So it's not total. So the real dollars are not a lot, but the coverage isn't a lot either. You follow me?
Got it. Yes, I do.
So that's the type of thing you can kind of piece that together in a patchwork quilt and get you some coverage. If you work really hard at this, you might pull together $100,000 worth or something, which is still not enough if you got a 2-year-old, right?
Yeah.
But it's more than you got today. And in the meantime, I just want you guys to be in cash preservation mode. No No frivolous spending. You've not been doing that. You don't have the money to do that, but no frivolous spending. And I'm going to put you guys into Financial Peace University, where you're learning to work together and handle money together, because that's going to be critical with all the things you have facing you in the next 3 years. So hang on. We'll pick up. Austin will get you signed up for that as our gift. And let us know how you're doing, kiddo. We're scared with you. We understand. This is The Ramsey Show.
We were drawn to Christian Healthcare Ministries because we both had young families and we wanted to have more children. And we had also just started a real estate company and needed to find healthcare coverage that would meet our needs. We were attracted to CHM because of its low monthly costs and the ability to negotiate medical costs down.
Established in 1981 and accredited by the Better Business Bureau, CHM is here to meet the needs of your growing family or small business. Check us out at chministries.org/budget.
We absolutely believe in it.
Thanks for joining us, America. If you're listening to this show, there's a good chance you finally had enough of where you are right now in life. Enough mediocre relationships. Enough being stuck in a meaningless 9-to-5 job. Enough struggling to pay for gas. Well, that's everybody. Enough paying for groceries. The tough truth is there's nothing going to change until you decide to change it. So this month, we're bringing back the Ramsey $10 sale. Get up to 83% off our #1 best-selling books and tools that'll help you finally take control of your life and your money. If debt's eating up your income like a Baptist gobbling up a casserole, well, check out the Total Money Makeover. Or Rachel's book, Know Yourself, Know Your Money. Both #1 bestsellers. If you want to take your relationships to the next level, try out John Deloney's Questions for Humans Couples Edition. Or I just did a little book the other day called The Momentum Theorem. Works for couples, works for people, works for careers, works for everything. If you're looking for a career change to grow your income or pay off debt faster, you can check out Ken Coleman's resume templates. There's all kinds of ways we can help you when you finally say, enough is enough. The $10 sale. Whether it's paying off debt, building wealth, improving your relationships or your career, not a bad return on investment. Again, that's up to 83% off. The $10 sale at RamseySolutions.com. I don't know where else you can get a best-selling hardback book for $10.
Inflation didn't hit us here at Ramsey, Dave. We kept our prices.
Actually, inflation did hit us, but we didn't raise our prices anyway. It hit us.
Just like the Costco
We're
hot
not going
dog.
to make it hit you. That's it, yeah. Well, we'll get around to it. We'll get around to raising our prices one of these days. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Christina is in New York City. Hi, Christina. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, thank you for taking my call.
Sure, what's up?
So my question is, I own property. I'm contributing to my retirement, and I have about $150,000 saved in like a growth money market account. So I'm just not really sure, like, should I just keep that money in that account and just keep, putting into it? Should I invest it in some way? I just want to make sure, like, I'm doing, like, the responsible thing.
How soon are you wanting to use that money?
Maximizing.
How soon are you wanting to use that money? Is this a 1 to 2 year? Is this 5 years or more?
Say again.
How soon will you need the money?
Well, I don't like need it like for anything. I'm just saving.
Okay. You just want it to grow.
Are you out of debt 100%?
Yes.
No mortgages?
No. I mean, I don't want to say I'm out of debt. I mean, I own my house, so
no mortgages.
No, I have a mortgage.
Oh, okay. How much is your mortgage?
Like $3,500 a month.
No, baby, the balance.
Oh, well, I just sold my condo and just bought a house with my fiance. So the balance right now that we owe is like $650.
Okay. You bought a house with your fiance?
Yes.
And when is the marriage taking place?
Next year.
Okay. All right, you're in a very precarious and dangerous situation. If you're not going to get married soon, you guys need to get some written documentation immediately on this house, okay? If something goes sideways horrible in your all's lives, this house is going to be a major problem if it happens before marriage. Okay? Can you tell you're talking to a guy who's seen cancer before, and I know what cancer looks like?
Yeah.
Okay. So you didn't even think of all these bad things that could happen, but for 30 years I've been doing this with people that have had all the bad things happen. Okay? Mm-hmm. So something bad happens in the relationship, you're suddenly a partner with your former fiance in a house. That needs some written partnership documentation. And partnership documentation deals with the D's: death, disability, drug use, default, divorce, which can't happen here, but it could be called, I saw him on Facebook with another girl or something like, I don't know. I don't think it's going to happen to you. I doubt it's going to happen to you, but you need all this written down, kiddo. I don't want you being one of our customers for the wrong reasons, okay? Because you just scared me to death when you said that. Now, having said all of that, does your fiance have any money?
Yeah, he does.
Cash?
In the bank, yeah.
How much?
Probably 10.
Okay, so you're the rich one. Okay, you're the saver. He's the spender. Okay, and what does he make a year?
$130,000.
Great, cool. And what do you make a year?
The same.
Good, excellent. So you got a $260,000 combined income. When you do get it combined by marriage. Let's see here. Does he have debt other than this house?
No.
None. Not a student loan, not a car payment, nothing.
Well, he does have a car payment. I think it's going to be paid off.
What do you think debt is?
It's going to be paid off in a year.
Okay. I ask you if you had any debt. No. Do you have a mortgage? Yes. Does your husband have any debt? No. Does he have a car payment? Yes.
I have a car payment.
Oh, you have a car payment.
Goodness gracious.
Now we're getting somewhere. Is there any other non-debt that you have that's debt?
No, that's it. Just the mortgage and the car payments. No
the two car
loans,
payments.
nothing like that.
Okay.
What's
good.
the car loan balance?
I just signed a lease, so.
Okay. I would call the lease company and ask what the early buyout is. Lease is basically financing a car. And I would write a check today. You're not going to do any of this, but I'm going to tell you what you should do. Okay. And I would pay off your car today. He should start working to get his paid off as soon as he possibly can. You said he was on plan to do it inside of a year. Okay? That's number two. Number one suggestion is pay yours off. Number two suggestion is he needs to pay his off. Don't pay off his car until you're married. The faster you guys can actually get married, the faster you're going to solve all the financial and legal mumbo-jumbo that you're getting into, because it's very difficult for you to work together and be protected against bad situations until you're married. So the faster you're married, I know it's not romantic and it wasn't your plan, but the faster you're married, the more you solve the issues under New York law with the house ownership and with the, because you could reach over today, and I would suggest this, and George would suggest this, and throw the $150 at the house and start reducing the house, because that's our next step, is get your house paid off once your cars are paid off. But I don't want you paying off a house that you're in joint ownership with a broke person on.
Okay.
And right now you're a partner with a broke person. Now that's a financial analysis. It's not saying your fiance is a deadbeat or something like that, but he has 10 grand, you have 150 grand. You both make 130, okay? So let me tell you what happened one time. This is not going to happen to you, but this is why I'm freaking out, so you'll understand I'm not just a weirdo, okay? I had a lady in the exact same situation you're in. The fiance gets killed in a car wreck. Now she owns the house with his parents.
Yeah, that was what I was told actually happens.
Yeah, it's exactly what does happen, unless there's a will. So there needs to be a will in place today with the partnership agreement so that you get the entire freaking house if something happens. He gets the entire freaking house if something happens, okay? And that's that's why I'm freaking out here. I don't think that's going to happen. What are the percentage chances of that? Nothing, probably. But this is what you've opened yourself up to by engaging in what felt like the right thing to do because your relationship is strong, okay? And I'm not saying he's a bad guy or you're a bad girl. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying you're just open to that, and it scares me for you. So I want you to protect yourself. And the sooner you get married, the less soon you have to do all that. So if you run down and get married this weekend and then have the celebration in a year, then legally you're fine. You don't have to worry about it anymore. If you did that, then I'm going to pay off both cars immediately out of your 150 and throw the rest at the house, wouldn't you?
Absolutely. But we got to do some things in order here, and there's a lot of mortgage here and the car payments, and it makes me sick to my stomach.
Yeah, but you got $260,000 income, assuming you're married. That's cool. I mean, you're making a freaking $250,000. Even in New York City, that's a lot of money. So, hey, hang on. We're going to put you guys through Financial Peace University as our wedding gift, because I think the wedding is pending.
Dave just sped up the process.
You think I might have dialed it up? I doubt it. I doubt I had any impact at all, but it's fun to try. This is The Ramsey Show. If you're looking for ways to update your home without blowing the budget, I've got it. For years, I've been telling you about our friends at Blinds.com. Blinds.com makes it simple to shop top quality blinds, shades, and interior shutters from home with easy online ordering and free shipping. With Blinds.com, there's no need to renovate your entire home. Just change out what's on your windows with upscale choices like faux wood blinds, cellular, and roller shades, or even outdoor shades. Plus, Blinds.com guarantees the perfect fit, whether you do it yourself or you have them measure and install everything for you. Shop their latest looks and see how much you can save at Blinds.com today. The easy and affordable way to make your home more beautiful is Blinds.com. George Camel Ramsey Personality is my co-host today in the lobby of Ramsey Solutions on the debt-free stage. Ray and Chris are with us. Hey, guys, how are you?
Hey.
Good. How are you doing?
Better than I deserve, sir. Welcome. It's good to have you guys. Where do you live?
Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Awesomeness. Very cool. Good to have you visit. Thanks for being with us.
It's great to be here.
And all the way down into the deep south at Nashville to do a debt-free scream. How much did you pay off?
$143,616.69.
I love it. And how long did that take?
About 18 months. We were scheduled to do it in 24, and we did it in 18.
You jacked it up. Yeah. All right. And what was your range of income during that 18 months?
We're about 170 to about 242.
Cool. What do y'all do for a living?
I'm a regional sales manager in the automation industry.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a contract specialist for an electrical subcontractor.
Cool. So how did your income jump $70,000 in 18 months?
I'm a salesperson, so
I had a reason to make a sale.
Yeah, we had really good income, and then it went down a little bit, and then back up this year.
Way to go, killing it. Good for you guys. So what kind of debt was the $144,000?
It was a little bit of everything. I don't think there's a debt we didn't like. So we had lines of credit, we had bathtubs, we had HVAC.
You had debt on your bathtub?
Oh, yeah.
A soaker tub.
Yep.
A soaker tub?
Yeah.
Well, that makes a difference.
Very important.
Yeah.
Was that for you, I'm guessing?
That was for me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we just love debt, so that was the...
Yeah, whatever we want, we just go get it, and
Absolutely.
we'll pay for it later.
Cars.
You're full on America.
Yep. Previously, we paid off student loans for our kids previously. So
yeah. So what happened? What was the wake-up call, the change of heart?
Part of it was COVID, but the big thing that happened September 28th, I got let go of my job, first sales job I've ever been let go of. and they decided they didn't need salespeople, and her security gland went off. And so we decided we better do something.
Okay, so she freaked out because you're like, we're going broke here.
Absolutely.
Now, that's September 28th of 2020.
2020. Yep.
Yeah, right in the middle of COVID stuff.
Yep. Yeah. So got us a little scared. And
why did that? So really, they were just COVID scared. The company was, and they freaked out and dumped you in the street.
No, they weren't COVID scared. They just didn't think they needed salespeople anymore.
So, they were stupid.
Yeah. Well,
It's an incredible business model.
I can't say that on the air. So.
I just did.
Yep.
Wow.
I regularly call companies like that stupid, so I'm kind of used to it. All right.
So you went from loving debt to instantly hating it, going, we got to get rid of this ASAP.
Yeah.
That's a big mindset shift.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest part of our story is the mindset. The mindset shift is the what we went through. So we did that, and within a few weeks, our daughter and son-in-law asked if they could move in to our house so they could get debt free.
Wow.
And so we started this journey, and we never looked back.
How'd you get connected the Ramsey way?
Man, that's a great question. I don't know, 8 or 10 years ago, we had heard about you in a class at church. It wasn't an FPU class, but we heard about you, looked you up, and we decided to gift FPU to our son and daughter-in-law when they got married. Having never read it, didn't know anything about it, we just thought, oh, this would be a great idea.
And that's many years ago.
8 years ago.
8 years ago.
Yeah. And so then a friend of mine, Nathan, he said, during COVID, I started getting tired of listening to the news and was kind of going through that, that kind of angry stage. And he goes, oh, you should just listen to Dave Ramsey. He'll lift you up every day and just give you an alternative to listen to. So I started binge listening to every podcast when I traveled, and that's just kind of what started me on the journey. So it got us going, kind of looking at that, and the big thing for us was having to sit down and look back at what we had been spending.
Yeah.
So
that's a big wake up call too.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I did. When I looked at it, I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah. Unfortunately, COVID had built some of that in for us. So for the first 6 months before we even started this, we weren't going out to eat, and that was one of our biggest spending areas.
There you go.
So we had already kind of started taking all that out. And
you didn't die.
And we didn't die. Yeah, we didn't die.
That's amazing. So did you go back through FPU then? No, did you ever go through it?
Never went through
Just
FPU.
the podcast?
No. The podcast, and I started buying every book I could buy. So I think I've read almost everything that you've put out. And
oh, wow. Okay. Thank
one
you.
One of them was good. It was Rachel's book, Know Yourself, Know Your Money.
Yeah, that's helpful.
Yep.
Yeah, because you guys have been married a while.
Yep.
36 years.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. We just celebrated 40, so we're in the same club. Yeah. Very cool.
Yep.
Good for you guys.
Have you guys ever been debt-free?
Know yourself. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
In your marriage, have you been debt-free in 36 years?
I don't know. There might have been like 3 minutes or 4 minutes.
Yeah, maybe credit card, but I don't know about car. Maybe briefly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
Just for a moment, and then you got over it.
Yeah, because what I said before is we were raised in homes that never talked about money, and we'd really never had anybody sit down with us and talk us through this like you do, through your material. So we started looking at it differently, and that's what kind of changed us, because we had to get to a point about 9 months into the journey, my daughter and son-in-law challenged us to a year-long debt reduction contest.
Uh-oh. So Game on, family contest.
Don't compete with the sales guy.
Yeah, that's right.
We did win.
Yeah, we did win. And we had already paid off about $80,000, so that was the rest of our debt. And we decided, to be fair, we should probably put our mortgage into the contest so we could be fair with our kids. Mm-hmm. And both of our kids,
this is mortgage and everything.
This is mortgage and everything.
Wow.
We are totally debt free.
You are weird people.
Yes.
Yeah. I knew it. All right. Way to go,
What's
guys.
the house worth?
I don't know. We think it's about $350 is what we're thinking.
And how much do you have saved in retirement?
Well, the last time I looked in December, before 2022 started, we were probably about almost $800,000.
Okay. So at that point, if it's still there, you'd be at over $1 million net worth.
Yep.
So you became Baby Steps millionaires in the process.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Or you will be again shortly, if not.
Yeah.
Well done, you guys. Very cool.
And we had never looked at it that way. We had, I'd never really sat down and looked at our 401k and kind of added those things up. But as we started looking at it, we're, Baby Steps millionaires.
You just way to go, man. You did everything right. Very well done. Well, Know Yourself, Know Your Money is really important. Rachel's material on this, like you said earlier, the family you come from, it tends to, the way your family of origin handled money influences the way you handle money. Right. And your spouse doesn't always understand that. They're like, where did you get that, you weirdo? Well, that's the way we always did it in my house, So you got to get through that stuff, and that really helps to get on the same page, doesn't it?
Yep, absolutely.
So what's the most important thing if somebody wants to get out of debt that they need to do?
I would say quit spending. We just stopped. We bought food that we needed and paid heat and our house payment, but other than that, we just stopped spending. And it felt like we had a raise at the end of the month.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
I think for me it was really the change of heart as far as debt goes. So we, like I said, when we started that contest, my son-in-law said, hey, are you turning off your 401k? Are you getting down to $1,000 in your savings account? And when those two things happened, the hardest things we did were those two things. But when we did them, it changed our mindset about money. It just totally changed. We got, intense. We got scared. We got all those things you feel when you do those things. And that's kind of what spurred us in fact, we thought it would take a year, and the last part only took 9 months to get done.
So your son-in-law gives you the hacks on how to win the contest, and you beat him.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem fair.
Yeah, he's kind of a quiet guy, but when he got on all these Ramsey Facebook groups, and he started,
there's almost 400,000 people in that group. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, and he was coming up with stuff. He printed off our debt-free journey thing for us so we could do that and all that kind of stuff. So,
awesome. Yeah.
We're proud of you guys. You guys are amazing. I've enjoyed talking to you. I'm so proud of you. You give a great picture on it can be done and it should be done, and here's what you got to do.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very, very well done. We got a copy of Baby Steps Millionaires for you, since you are one, my latest #1 bestseller, and we'll give you a 1-year membership to Financial Peace University. You've never been through it, you ought to go through it.
Yeah, thank you.
You don't technically need everything in there anymore, but you'll probably learn something, and then you'll want to give it away to somebody else probably. So good stuff. And we've got a copy of Total Money Makeover for you to give away to somebody and get them moving. You've got these books, a lot of them probably, so you can give them away.
Yeah,
good stuff. Ray and Chris from Minneapolis, $144,000 paid off in 18 months, making $170 to $242. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1.
We're debt-free! Yeah! House and everything. Baby Steps Millionaires. All in 18 months. That's how it works right there, baby.
They're not messing around.
Woo! Woo! This is The Ramsey Show. George Camel, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host. Open phones at 888-825-5225. You jump in. We'll talk about your life and your money. Mackenzie is with us. Mackenzie is in Portland, Oregon. Hi, Mackenzie. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. Thank you. So my question is, my husband is a dentist, and he gets paid through his PLLC that he was advised to set up. He recently started with a new company and has the opportunity to either continue keeping like his PLLC or switching to W-2. And we've been advised that on both. W-2 is a better option for him, and then obviously the PLLC is a better option for him. So we were wondering what your thoughts were.
Well, when you're self-employed on 1099, you have the opportunity to pay both sides of FICA. They call that self-employment tax because Washington, D.C. is so friendly to small business people. We're pro-business. No, you're not. You crush small business people because when you're a small business person on 1099 or just small business person, you get to pay both sides of FICA. So you got 15.3 there, plus your tax rate. If you're on W-2, you have half of that, 765 plus your tax rate, is the tax implications. Now, as a W-2, there's no write-offs. If you have business expenses associated with this action, you can deduct those. Does he have business expenses?
No, with this new company, he really has very minimal. They pay like his malpractice and his continuing education, his CE courses.
Either way.
Yeah. They would pay either way, even if he stays with the PLC.
Okay. The only other thing I can think is the PLC might actually have value as a practice if he has the income going through it. It's a dental practice. He has a dental practice. He's self-employed under the PLC, which is basically a corporation that's set up, folks, for listening, for medical. Okay, it's a small business corporation for medical. Sometimes lawyers will use it as well. It's the only time I ever see it, though, is law firms and medical practices. I don't see it anywhere else. So you see what I'm saying? If he has dollars going through that company, then that company starts to have value. It's not really got any value apart from him being attached to it, because he's the only horse in the race, only horse creating the value. But you might begin to lay a track record of that. I don't know that he can do 1099 here, because a lot of companies try to put people on 1099 because it's less expensive for them on the FICA. And they're really not 1099 eligible. When a company furnishes you everything, the clients, the location, they do all the marketing, they cover all the overhead, they're covering his insurance, they're covering everything. He's an employee at that point. And if it walks like a duck and talks like a duck, it's a duck under tax law. And so I'm not positive, because I'm not a tax expert, but there's some guidelines on what is and isn't a 1099.
Yeah, it's going to vary state by state as well, and so I would look at what the...
No, 1099 doesn't vary state to state.
Well, the other rules there. So I'm wondering, for the W-2 side, is there any harm in just switching to the W-2? What are we gaining by going with the 1099?
The only thing I can think of here is that you're just building the value of the practice potentially, but not much.
Who recommended that, Mackenzie?
But
you said they recommended.
Our tax accountant.
Okay.
Said W-2?
Our tax accountant did. Yeah, I guess some reason for the PLLC is if anything comes back at him,
well, he's got malpractice
then
insurance.
It protects. I know, so that I guess, I don't know.
Yeah.
The malpractice should cover that.
And he's an employee at that point. Employees don't get sued. The employer gets sued if he screws up somebody's mouth.
Okay, that's true.
So...
The PLLC has just seemed to be so expensive, too, and like all these different...
Well, yeah, you're going to have some associated...
And things that we have to do.
I don't know what Oregon's tax is on that. In Tennessee, we don't have one. LLCs, you don't get taxes, all passed through. On the federal level, there's no tax on it. It's all passed through. But I don't know whether Oregon has a separate thing. If they're taxing you on it, then that settles it for sure. And you got to file a tax return on the stupid thing. And you have to pay your corporate registration fees every year to keep it open and all of that. Would you dissolve it if he went to W-2?
Yes.
I probably would. Yeah. I think I'm going with your tax accountant. Because number one, your tax accountant. I'm assuming your tax accountant knows Oregon law as well.
Yeah.
I think mathematically, I'm positive you're going to come out ahead with W-2, and I'm having trouble finding any good reason to keep the other thing in place. So I'm going with your tax accountant.
One thing is that our kids are involved in doing things, and so they say that they can be paid that way, and that
whoopty-doopty.
There's like little
that's just
holes of that.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, just go make some money. Don't worry about that. I mean, you can take care of your kids later. That's the whole thing of you can pay your kids through your business and all that, but your kid actually has to be providing market value work. I mean, so you can't have a 3-year-old that's making $8,000 a year. you'll get audited and lose the audit. And people do that crap. But
I've seen the TikTok videos. It's not pretty, Dave.
Yeah, it's just, well, nothing on TikTok is pretty, George. Why are you even on there? And
just to rile myself up, you know.
It riles me up that you're on there. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with your tax accountant. Let's do it. That's simple. I'm going ahead. You can always come back later if something changes in your world and you want to form another one, that kind of thing.
I give it a year and keep track of all the numbers and see how it shakes down with the W-2.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing. Sometimes, and this I'm still not sure is the case here, you're not eligible to be a 1099. Sometimes people just declare. You know, it's like Michael Scott on...
I declare bankruptcy.
I declare bankruptcy. I declare you a 1099. You can't do that.
The IRS
it's not how it
is very
works.
Specific in who can and can't.
There's like 12 guidelines that have to be met. I can't remember. But a couple of them are you can't get all your... If you have one customer, you have one set of leads, and all your marketing, your location, your supplies, your insurance... Everything is supplied to you. You're not 1099 by definition. You don't qualify anymore because you're an employee. 1099 means you are self-employed. That's what it means. So like a real estate agent is an example of someone who is a 1099 but does work out of one office. But they create all their own leads. They have all their own marketing, or the vast majority of it, and they buy their own office supplies. They pay gas for their car. They buy their own insurance. They pay their own MLS fees. They're in business for themselves.
And
they
contractors
happen to be working
are
with
similar.
a broker.
If you're, working for Uber or one of those, side hustles.
That's independent contractor for sure. For sure, you're providing your own car. You're providing all this other crap involved. But this thing where you go to work at a place. And everything is, you're acting and looking and walking and talking like an employee. By definition, you're an employee. But sometimes these particularly small businesses will violate this. They will just say, we don't want to pay that FICA stuff, that extra half of that, and so we're just going to make you a 1099 and you is on your own and you're self-employed. You don't get to do that. You need to look up the IRS guidelines. I'm not an expert on it, but I have seen people audited in the small business world and get screwed over with this stuff.
Well, if you're self-employed, you better be working with a great tax pro anyways. There's
That's
a lot
true.
of things that, you're not thinking about when it comes to deductions and, being strategic with making sure you're making the most of that money.
And don't pay your kids more than you could hire another kid to do the job for. It won't survive an audit. And so, we had our kids were employed with us, but we only paid them, a market rate for that job. And they weren't doing much, so they didn't get paid much. They were kids. So that's how this works. You don't send them to the salt mines. Yeah, that sounds like something you hear at some seminar somewhere or something that you get ripped off.
Wealth hack.
A wealth hack. Oh, God, shoot me. This is The Ramsey Show. Dave here. You can find all of our shows with the Ramsey Network app on your smartphone. It's the only place to listen to the entire back catalog of episodes. Download the Ramsey Network app in your favorite app store today. Headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, it's the Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. We help people build wealth, do work they love, and create actual amazing relationships. George Camel, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today, and joining us in studio, one of our great friends, Dr. Meg Meeker. She is the author of the book Strong Fathers, Strong Daughters. If you all haven't heard the story, a while back, I was in a group of men, started as a Bible study and deteriorated into a book club, and we were reading through different books, and one of the guys in there brings this book in there called Strong Fathers, Strong Daughters. Now, at this point, my daughters were already grown, but I read this book, and it is such a powerful statement on the importance of dads in their daughters' lives. and time again. So I immediately, once I read it, I just got blown away, and I reached out, and I didn't know that Meg and I were actually brother and sister. We found out later that we're way too much alike. And that I don't know, what year did that book come out?
A long time ago. I'm thinking 04, 06.
Yeah, so we've been friends almost 20 years then. And so Meg has done speaking with us on Smart Conference. She's been on this show multiple times speaking on the subject of parenting in general. Meg's a pediatrician in Traverse City up in Michigan, and has been by practice, but also has become a best-selling author, many best-selling books. Strong Fathers, Strong Daughters continues to be an explosive subject, and now has been made into a movie. Congratulations. I haven't had a movie made yet. That's a big deal.
You'll get there.
I'm jealous.
So I beat you at one thing.
Yeah, you did.
There we go. No competition.
None whatsoever.
None. It's thrilling. I had nothing to do with it, of course. It's a God thing. But a number of years ago, PureFlix bought the rights from the publisher, and I thought, oh, yeah. And then all of a sudden, a year ago, they said it's going to come out as a movie, and I said, oh, yeah. And then August 1st, it came out, and it's really good. Wow.
And it's really good. See, that's the important thing. I mean, they didn't mess it up.
Well, I was nervous.
I bet.
Yeah, because my name's all over it.
Yeah,
and people say
your best known title is on it.
Exactly. But I was thrilled when I actually saw it, because it's cute. It conveys the message of my book pretty well, and it shows my book in there, and it's a real shot in the arm for dads. And you know me, I am so pro dad. My mission in life is to encourage fathers, because they get zero. And so I think the movie accomplishes that, and I'm thrilled.
Yeah.
Did you get to be an extra in it? Did they let you?
I wouldn't, even if they did. That's not my thing.
Why? You could have at least had a cameo. Just on a walk by.
That would have been amazing. Well, did you get a say in the movie, Meg, of how it was portrayed?
Did. So they showed me the first manuscript, and I said, I don't know, could you make some changes? And they did. And then I signed off on the final one. But I couldn't choose the actors or anybody. But
wow.
Yeah.
You weren't in charge of casting.
So how do they watch it? PureFlix. How do they watch it?
Go to pureflix.com, and they can watch the trailer, which is cute, and then the whole movie. And I really encourage people to watch it. It's light. It's not heavy. And now everybody hears so much bad news. It's a sit-down, feel-good movie, and it encourages dads. So if they know a dad needs a little encouragement, what dad doesn't.
Of the people
fathers.
who are dads.
Yeah.
In a culture who's completely devalued fatherhood.
Totally.
I don't think of anything more evil than a dad out there in the culture right now.
Exactly. And
not only not encouraged, but discouraged.
And that's why I do what I do. And I will do it till I fall over. Because getting dads engaged in the family is, I think, the most important thing we can do in our culture. It would solve so many problems. So financial, social, psychological, in families and their kids' lives. And I'm just so passionate about that. So
you got questions on parenting? We've got Dr. Meg for another segment. You can jump in right now at 888-825-5225. Any question on parenting is open. 888-825-5225. She's our resident parenting expert, although she's not resident, and we're just glad she's with us today. So 888-825-5225. Austin's going to open up a couple lines and make sure that you guys can get through with those, because we've only got her for one more segment to do that. So you think they represent the book well?
I do. You know me. I'm a little intense.
I don't know anybody like that.
This is why we're kindred spirits.
This is why we're brothers.
This is why we hang out together.
A little bit.
We have some of the best arguments on the planet.
And I always win.
And you always win?
I always win.
No,
That's
you
hard.
Don't.
No, it's easy
it's impossible to do that.
Yeah.
So I'll let you win this argument for today. The whatever it is, but I don't think.
What I was going to say is I would have made the book a little more serious, a little more intense. The movie, a little more serious, a little more intense, but it probably wouldn't have sold if I did it. So they lightened it up, but they did. They communicated.
But it's got a good story arc.
Very good story.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, so for the ones that have never heard of you or this discussion before, we're acting like everybody knows what we're talking about. The data that is in the book, Strong Fathers, Strong Daughters, is irrefutable on the evidence of ladies end up this, and this, and this more often if dad is involved or dad's not involved? Rattle off some of that.
Girls are more likely to graduate from high school, more likely to graduate from college, less likely to have depression and anxiety, more likely to be successful in life. You name it. Girls are better off, almost twice as good. They do twice as well in life.
Unwanted pregnancies less. STDs are less.
STDs are less. And this is very...
this is data. This is not your opinion.
No. It's data.
Tons of research.
Well, and that's why, when people come out in the public and they say, kids don't need a dad. Well, look at the research. How can you just say it's all wrong? So as a physician, everything I write has to be medically backed with solid medical evidence. And that's exactly what I do in the book. I don't just come up with ideas and sort of tell anecdotal stories or make things up. It sounds good. I really write things based on medical research. And, it's really just gotten more and more problems with kids. You see the explosion of depression and anxiety right now in kids. That was much worse today than it was 10 or 15 years ago. So I really believe that the message in my book is more important today than it was 10 or 15 years ago.
Yeah. So moms are important too.
Very important, but they have a very different role, and we're not willing to say that in our culture. We're not willing to say, a boy's a boy and a girl's a girl, but that a mother's a mother and a dad's a dad. Dads bring something very different to the family than mothers do. Mothers are the comfortable, cozy, warm, emotionally connected, and dads are the authority. And dads have an authority in a daughter's eyes that mothers don't. Nobody wants to say that, but it's true in the daughter's eyes.
Yeah. And the ability to speak life.
Exactly.
From that authority is very, very important.
Change your life.
Yeah, very cool. Dr. Meg Meeker, the book is Strong Fathers, Strong Daughters. It's now a movie on PureFlix. Back with your calls and questions for her and George's as well. The phone number 888-825-5225. Ramsey Personality is my co-host today. Dr. Meg Meeker joining us, our good friend and author of the book Strong Fathers, Strong Daughters. If you want to talk to Dr. Meg, call us at 888-825-5225. James is on the line in Mobile, Alabama with a question for Dr. Meg Meeker. Hey, James, what's up?
Hey, nothing too much. How you doing?
Great. How can we help?
Hey, I have a question for the doc. Adopted a newborn at 3 days old. Should I tell her she's adopted? If so, when?
Yes, you need to tell her she's adopted because she will find out. And if she finds out when she's 20 or 25, she's going to be very angry with you because she'll feel like her life was a lie. I would tell her fairly early on when she can understand, 3 or 4 years of age. And what you say is you were so special that mommy and daddy picked you out and we brought you home because we loved you. And then
you're chosen.
You're chosen. You're chosen. We're all adopted. And yes, be very forthright, answer questions, don't hammer her over the head with it. But yeah, you'll have a much better relationship if you are honest with her.
Hey, she's 15 now and soon to be 16, so handle it the same way?
Yes. Does she know she's adopted now? And she's
No, she don't know. That's what I'm saying. She don't have any idea right now.
Oh, and she's 15.
Yeah, so would I handle it any different? Have I waited too late?
No. It's never too late. But you go and you say something like this. Honey, I probably should have told you when you were earlier. I didn't know what to do. I've never had an adopted child, but I need to tell you, you were adopted. and and this is what happened, and here's how you were chosen. She's going to be mad because you've sort of in her mind lied to her all these years. But that's where you ask her to forgive you for not knowing what to do and not having told her sooner. But she'll be okay with that.
I have limited experience because I've had 2 daughters. But every 15-year-old daughter I've had was a drama queen. So you expect some extra drama because of her age. Okay?
Yelling and crying and screaming. It's okay. It's okay. Let her do it.
There's not going to be easy. But nothing's easy when you have a 15-year-old daughter. So there's just everything that goes with that.
Okay, and if she want to meet her parents, do I try to find them, or how would I handle that?
I would say, why don't we wait a while? It's your choice. You sure can meet your parents, but I think it's good to wait till you're 18, a little bit older, and do that. If she's really insistent on meeting her parents, yeah. But with closed adoption, I don't think you can until the child's 18. It's my understanding.
But yeah, all I'm doing is just being dad here. I don't know what I'm talking about, but I would expect that an initial blow up, but if you don't make a bigger deal out of this, she's less likely to.
Right, exactly.
If this is just a matter of fact, low key thing, we loved you so much, we picked you out, we chose you. I kind of think I probably should have told you earlier, but I didn't know what to do. I've never been in this situation before. It's a new thing for me, so I'm sorry for the emotions that you're going to feel for this, but I want to let you know we picked you out. You're chosen. You didn't just the stork didn't choose you, and so we did. So you're special in that regard, and I hope you see it that way, honey. And I know you're going to go through a series of emotions about this, and I'm going to be there with you because I'm still your dad.
Right.
Okay, one last question. Since school just started, should I wait till a holiday or let her get adjusted to this beginning of the new school year, or just go ahead and do it now?
I'd let her get adjusted. What grade is she?
Well, she's doing the dual enrollment, so she's going to college and high school at the same time. So
yeah, she's got a lot on her plate. I'd wait till her life kind of settles into a new rhythm. You don't want to have too many changes at once. I mean, you've waited this long. What's waiting a few more months? Yeah.
Hey, let me tell you something, dude.
Okay.
She's going to be okay.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? You know how I know? She's got a great dad. The questions you've asked tell us how plugged into her you already are.
Yeah.
She's got a great dad. She's going to be okay.
She is going to be okay, and you are a great dad. You know, just calling in and asking and being concerned, that's the most important thing.
Yeah. I mean, I honestly wouldn't have thought of that question. Like, I mean, to wait till things calm down? I'm just like, well, yeah, get her done. I mean, he's actually has a feeling or two.
Dave's telling a 1-year-old, listen, son, this is what happened.
Well, I mean, now it's grandbaby, so we just hand them back if they're crying. Okay, you go see your mom. You're messed up here. I can't help you with this.
You're a great dad. Yeah, I've watched you parent. You're a great dad. Yeah,
I'm a better granddad though.
All men are. All men are. So is my husband.
Yeah, my daughter's like, "Who are you? What did you do with my father?"
Exactly. Yeah.
We get 20 years experience, then you become, then you get it.
You get it.
Figure it out.
So let's go back to what we were talking about before the break. Number one, you've got the master class now on Strong Fathers, Strong Daughters, because the book Strong Fathers has been a bestseller, like we said, for over a decade, almost 2 decades. And but a lot of the things you get with that book, same things I get with my books. Okay, now what do I get it, but what do I do?
What do I do? Exactly.
It's like Financial Peace, the book was, here's what to do, or here's the stuff, and then everybody's like, well, what do I do? So I wrote Total Money Makeover, and then Total Money Makeover is the what to do book, and it took off, and it's the biggest seller I've ever had.
Yeah, because you need step-by-step instructions.
So that's what you did with the master class.
That's what I did with the master class, Strong Fathers, Strong Daughters master class, and it's me going through every chapter of the book, and his videos. I summarize the chapter, and then I say, here's what you do from this chapter, and then chapter 2. And then I have downloadable 1-page help. So it's very short, it's quick, it's easy. And I just found so many men ask for it. They read the book and they go, this is great, but, literally tell me what
I'll
need
instructions.
It's
me. I need instructions.
Yeah, but
tell me what to do.
But when it comes to a man, dad's trying to enter daughter's world, they're like, I just don't know. And I mean, people say, what do I do with my daughter? And I'll go into this philosophical. No, what do I do with her on Saturday? because I have her Saturday and I don't know what to do. So anyway, and this is it. It's a step-by-step instruction of here's how you work out what I talked about in my Strong Fathers, Strong Daughters book. And people from the Ramsey listeners get 20% off if they use your name, code Ramsey at meekerparenting.com.
I've become a code. Code Ramsey.
It's all you're good for, Dave. Is a good discount.
I'm there for you, man.
We're excited about it, Meg. That's awesome.
This is
incredible. It's going to help a lot of dads out there who are going, what the crap do I do?
I hope so.
This is really, really good stuff. All right. In just the few moments that we got left, I'm thinking that I remember us talking on the air one time, and it was really poignant. Moms seem to naturally understand the power of physical touch. Mm-hmm. And I remember I was doing youth work one time, and I was reading a book on youth work, and it said when you have teenage daughters, if you don't give them hugs, someone else will.
That's right. That's right. And fathers will say, well, my daughter doesn't like me. She doesn't want to hug me. She pulls back. Of course she does, because she's very uncomfortable about who she is. It's not about you. The time when a daughter pulls back, you need to move in. You need to touch her. You need to hug her. You need to show her affection. She wants it. She needs it. And absolutely right. If you give it to her, she's not going to go looking for it. And she will look for somebody to give her affection the way you did. If you are respectful and loving and kind, guess what kind of boyfriend she's going to choose? The first time she is dating a guy and he's not like Dad, out he goes. And dads don't realize that you're the standard in our minds for how we're to be treated. So if you are respectfully showing affection and love to your daughter, she will expect nothing less when she dates or goes to marry somebody.
Yeah. It helps her pick well.
It does.
Yeah. And how you treat your wife, men.
Absolutely.
They're watching.
More is caught than taught.
Yep.
To quote Rachel Cruz.
There we go.
There you go. Good stuff. Dr. Meg Meeker, appreciate your friendship. Appreciate the work you do in this nation. The book is Strong Fathers, Strong Daughters. It's now a movie on PureFlix. And the masterclass is at meekerparenting.com. Use the code Ramsey for $30 off. Thanks for hanging out.
Thank you, Dave.
George Camel, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today as we answer your questions about life and money. Parents, there's a lot you can't control. You can't control inflation. You can't control the economy. You sure as crap can't control Washington. But you can control how you teach your teens to face this stuff. And sooner or later, they're going to face it. And the earlier they learn, the better. The best thing you can teach your teen this year is how to handle their money the right way. Things like how to budget, how to save, how to spend wisely, how to be outrageously generous. Foundations in Personal Finance is our high school curriculum that is also now a homeschool curriculum. It's in 48% of America's high schools. It'll give your teens the tools they need to win with money, to pay cash for college, stay out of debt, build wealth, be generous. It's not just another homeschool curriculum. It's completely changing how teens think about money, and it can change how your teen thinks, too. This year, you can give your teens the money skills they'll need now and for the rest of their lives. Foundations in Personal Finance. To learn more, go to RamseySolutions.com/homeschool. And George, we're seeing a number of people now on the debt-free stage doing their debt-free scream. It says, Dave, back in high school, I went through Foundations in Personal Finance.
Does that make you feel old?
George, that was not the point.
Okay. But the impact is amazing. And I get Instagram messages of people, teens going, I just finished the curriculum. Thank you guys so much. It's going to set me up for success. I'm going to go to school debt free. I've got my emergency fund. And I'm going, these kids are doing better than most adult Americans. It's amazing.
Yeah, which is a fairly low bar, but they are.
The
They're
bar
doing
is
much
low.
better.
Fair point.
Yeah,
but I love to see the impact on this next generation.
Check it out, folks. 888-825-5225 is our number here. Lines are available. Charles is with us in Orlando. Hi, Charles. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, Dave. Thanks for taking me on this afternoon.
Sure.
My question is regarding my parents. My parents back in the 70s purchased a home with my uncle. So 3 of them were sole survivorship. Since then, my dad passed in 2010. My uncle just passed in 2021. And now my mom has rights of survivorship over this house. The problem is my cousins live in the house, and they're just giving my mom a hard time about moving out. And so I think this is more like a moral question for my part. Should because the Bible says not to argue within your families and to agree quickly with your enemies, things like that. So my question, I have an influence over my mom. Should my mom pursue the eviction because she just wants to sell the house? She wants to, it's just hard.
Yeah. Well, you're sweet people. You're kind people. And when the Bible talks about agreeing quickly or going along, there's another scripture that says, so far as you are able to work along with people. I mean, there's a Les Parrott talks about, it's the verse with the most qualifiers of anything in the Bible, but as much as you are able, mm-hmm. and in this case you may not be able because you can't get along with someone who refuses to get along.
Mm.
And so the Bible does not require that we are doormats. It just requires that we're kind when we're strong.
Mm.
There's a difference. And so some strength is needed here. How old is your mom?
She's 83.
Okay.
She's 83.
So what you have here is you have cousins that are taking advantage of a sweet old lady.
Mm. Yeah.
And so your mom doesn't need to handle this. You do, with your mom's permission. It's not fair to her at 82 years old to have to deal with these characters. And these people are characters. Yeah. They are not entitled to this house, are they?
No, it was a contract my uncle did with my mom, my dad. You couldn't have bought that house without my mom's and my dad's assistance.
And it was left with survivor intentionally. So your mother is 100% owner of the house.
Yeah.
So and regardless of how we got here, boys and girls, Mom owns this house 100%.
Yeah.
And she has, and that does not, there is no obligation anywhere, written or unwritten, said or unsaid, that allows you guys to get to live here for free.
Right.
So you don't.
Kind of wishful.
Yeah, so you don't. So here's what we're going to do, okay? You guys are going to start paying rent, and you're going to maintain the property, or you need to make arrangements to live somewhere else. It's up to you. And we'll give you a little time to get all that done, but this is ending.
Yeah.
And, how much time do you need? I mean, let's give them 3 months. I don't care. It's been years.
Yeah, it's been 8 months already.
Since your uncle died?
It's been over 18 months since my uncle died. It's been 8 months since we told them. So my mom said, okay, we're selling the house, and we gave them notification. They were paying rent for almost the whole year last year.
Oh, okay. Okay, I got a different story. I'm sorry.
No. I didn't explain it correctly. Sorry.
But your mom wants to sell regardless. She doesn't want, even if they paid rent, she wants to sell this house and be done with it.
Oh, okay, so they just need to move.
Yes.
Okay. So here's the deal. What I would do is just jump on the phone with them, or send them a text if you want, and say, listen, I've been talking to Mom about this. Here's what Mom says we're going to do. And I'm giving you just as a cousin, as family, what is this? This is August 15th, okay?
Yeah.
So here's what's going to happen, all right? You are going to be out of the house by September the 15th, 30 days from today. If you are not out of the house and it's not in good condition when you leave, then we're going to have our attorney evict you. Yeah. We don't want to do that. Please don't make us do that.
Yeah.
Let's just conduct this business and let's conduct our affairs with class. And if we can help you in some way, we will. Let us know how we can help. But September the 15th, the house needs to be empty and clean.
Yep.
And if it is neither, we're going to have to take other actions. And I'm not going to negotiate or argue with you about this. This is a statement of what is going to happen. If you are not gone by September the 15th, the next letter you get will be from our attorney. So please don't make us go to that expense, and please don't let this go into the courts. It's silly to do that.
Yeah.
And just be kind and firm, and it's just very matter of fact, low key, no drama. Don't get into the argument of who shot John, and 14 years ago somebody said the bedroom was supposed to be pink, or whatever the crap family stuff brings up, right?
I don't know. Yes. Yes, sir.
Because they do. They want to go back. They want to circle back around, chase their tail again, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So
just don't feed into the drama.
So what do you think the probability is that when you call them and say September 15th is the date, and I'm going to follow that up with an email or a letter or whatever you want, so you'll have it in writing. What do you think the probability is they're gone before you have to evict them?
0.
That's what I think. Because 0. I think they're entitled little jerks. And I think they think they have a right to something that they don't have a right to. They're ignorant. And so I'm afraid they're about to learn a lesson. So go ahead as soon as you make the phone call, because I'm in agreement with you. I think this is what's going to happen. Go ahead and find a lawyer and get the gun loaded, so to speak, to where it doesn't take 30 more days screwing around.
All right.
Go ahead and start, get everything moving to where on September the 15th, the thing's already in motion.
Yes, sir.
And whatever notice the house in Florida?
No, his house is up northeast. Northeast.
What state?
New York State.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
You probably got some different laws there, man. So you may have to the lawyer may have to give them a formal 30-day notice after this. It may take you until after Christmas to get them out.
Right.
In some states, it could be 30 days. But I doubt it in New York State. I suspect you probably got a process there that's going to make you gag. But it's okay. Just walk through. And here's the thing. Set the timeline in place and then push every button on the timeline. Don't let the can get kicked by anybody. No can kicking. Everybody's going to go exactly where they have to go. And because these kiddos ain't leaving unless you make them. This is the Ramsey Show. Our scripture of the day, Proverbs 16:3, commit your actions to the Lord and your plans will succeed. Thomas Jefferson said, I find that the harder I work, the more luck I seem to have. Einstein said, hard work always comes dressed in overalls. Luck always comes dressed in overalls. That's what it was. Yeah, luck always comes dressed in overalls.
Einstein and Jefferson and
go.
Proverbs, all saying similar things here.
There you go. That's how it works. All right, Bailey's with us in Green Bay. Bailey, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Better than we deserve. What's up?
Great. Thanks for taking my call. I have, I think, a common question, but maybe it's a little different. I'm moving jobs to a different company, and I'm currently vested at my company. And as I move, I'm wondering if I should take my money with me or leave it with my company. And if I take it with me, I don't get to keep the employer portion. I only get to keep the portion I have put in. So that would lose me about $30,000. Mm-hmm. But if I leave the money there, I can take out the entire portion once I retire. So what should I do?
It's a pension plan.
It is.
Yeah. Okay. So when you die, a pension plan evaporates. Right? It's worth zero.
I think so.
Oh, I know so. And a 401k or an IRA, a Roth IRA and mutual funds, 100% survives you. Again, goes to your heirs. Are you married?
Yes.
Okay. And if you had kids, that kind of stuff. All right. Now, so how much is the pension plan how much will it send to you after they take out the $30,000?
About 30,000.
Oh, so it's 100% you're losing. Oh, or 50% you're losing. Wow. Okay. How old are you?
29.
Okay. So if you invest $30,000 in a Roth IRA in good mutual funds, or just an IRA in good mutual funds with a rollover to your 401k, which you can do here, and you should do. If you do that, the $30,000 will grow to a lot of money by the time you get to retirement. Agreed?
Agreed.
It will double about every 7 years. So if you're 29 and we went out 3 times a double, it'd be 30 to 60 to 120 to 240, 21 years from today, and so you would be 50. Okay? When it's in the pension, it's going to grow at an average of about 7%, which means it's going to double about every 10 years. And so it will have gone, during that same period of time, it will have gone from 30 to 120. So the answer is you will have a lot more money if you live past 50 in life and in death, because the pension doesn't pay much. It's paying about 7%, and the mutual funds are averaging between 11 and 12% over the last 80 years.
Okay. And then, so if I do take that money out, is it right that I need to pay the taxes?
No, you're not going to take it out. You're not going to take it out. You're going to roll it to an IRA in good mutual funds, and there's zero taxes.
Okay.
So go to rent.
It doesn't count as my taxable income?
No.
Not if it's a direct rollover.
Okay.
And there's no penalties. The direct rollover. So what you're going to do is go to RamseySolutions.com, click on SmartVestor, and get a SmartVestor Pro to help you, an investment broker that we recommend, okay? And get somebody to help you, and then you'll fill out all the paperwork to buy the mutual fund in an IRA. That paperwork goes directly to your old pension. You'll need that information. They send the money directly into your new IRA, and that direct transfer keeps it from ever having come to you personally, and then there is no withholding and there is no taxes.
Okay.
You're going to lose the $30,000 match, but you're going to make it up over the next 20 years by more than double. And
it survives her.
No, you'll break even in 20 years. Everything after 20 years. If you live longer than 50 years old, you're going to have more money at death and more money at life. But until then, you won't break even, because we're taking the $30,000 out. Because she's actually got 60 in the pension. If she stays, 30 is all we're working with. So I did the math wrong the first time through.
So we're looking long term here at the perks of this.
It takes 2 decades. It takes 21 years with the math I'm doing to do this, because her 60 will double twice and become 240. Okay, and then it'll be 120, then 240. It'll double twice, but her 30 will double 3 times, and then that'll still be there.
And 30 years from now, she'll be real thankful she did that.
Anything after 21 years, she'll be glad. Or if she does pass away, at least she'll have there'll be something left.
Versus it dying with her.
And it'll die. Otherwise, it'll be worth zero, because at death it's worth zero. And so that's the difference. So usually, most of these cases that we run out, we find you have more in life and more in death, both, by taking your pension when you leave. Always take your 401k with you when you leave. Always roll it with a direct transfer rollover like we just described, because you've got more options out there and you've got more control, and you'll end up making more money. Even if your 401k at your old place was strong, you still don't have to go back through the old HR. You don't have to go through all that crap to get to your money. It's just moving over here into an IRA. You can buy the exact same mutual funds even if you wanted to, that were in your old 401k. So always take your 401k, and almost always take your pension.
Yeah, in this situation, she had a 100% match, it sounded like,
on
what she put
pretty
in.
Strong. That's the biggest penalty I've heard in a long time for leaving with a pension.
Yeah, you get none of it.
Yeah.
That's strange.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she's not vested yet. So, or no, she was vested in her portion, but not in the company match portion. Yeah. Matthew is in Boise. Hi, Matthew. Right quick, what's your question before I run out of time?
Yeah, for sure. I have a small farm which we have a mortgage on, and we have about $60,000 of debt separate to that. And my wife and I are like deciding whether, and we're really torn whether to like just continue paying everything off and stay in the farm, or whether to sell it and from the equity have enough to pay off all our debt, pay off the mortgage, and be able to buy a house.
What's your household income?
At the moment, it's my income, which is about $80,000, and my wife has a business which is debt free, but she's been investing all her money back in the business, so she hasn't been pulling an income at this point in time.
Okay. You like the farm, though, don't you?
Yeah, it's really like a love-hate relationship. And like some days, some days it's overwhelming.
Yeah, it depends on if I'm that tired that day from working on the dadgum thing. Yeah, I don't blame you. I get that. I have a love-hate relationship with some other stuff I own. Yeah, I'm going to work my way through it. It's only $60,000 because I think you really like the farm.
Yeah.
And I think your heart would be broken if you sold it. Now, if you told me it was $600,000, I'd probably be dumping it because I think you couldn't afford it. Even if you liked it.
Yeah, because we have the debt of $60,000, and our mortgage is actually about $327.
Yeah.
On it.
Yeah. But $327 mortgage, if you live somewhere else, would be there too.
Yeah, because at the moment if we sold it, we'd be able to sell it for around about $1 million to 1.1.
You can sell it if you want to, dude. But I think you like it. I heard that.
I don't think he has to sell it to pay off the debt. I'm not seeing the numbers here going, oh my gosh, you sell it today. This is a nightmare. He can pay off this debt. He's just wanting to speed up the process, and I think we can do this.
How fast do you pay off 60, making 80?
I give it 2.5 years max if the income doesn't go up.
2 years, $30,000 a year, and his wife's income is going to kick in. The business got to start making some money at some point, or she needs to get a job. So yeah, 2 years, 2 years, $30,000 a year.
That's reasonable.
Out of $80,000, you're done. Get this thing done. Roll up your sleeves. Stay out of the restaurants. Quit traveling. No vacations. We're paying off the deal.
And keeping the farm.
Yeah.
It's like a Hallmark movie. We're going to save the farm, Dave.
It's a Hallmark movie?
I feel like every Hallmark movie is about saving a farm. I don't know.
Is it really?
Yeah. See, the booth is
the difference
agreeing.
is the booth and you have actually seen Hallmark movies, and I don't know these.
I'm surprised Sharon hasn't made you watch one.
I have a good wife, so there you go. That puts this hour of the Ramsey Show in the books. We'll be back with you before you know it. In the meantime, remember, there's ultimately only one way to financial peace, and that's to walk daily with the Prince of Peace, Christ Jesus.
Do you love a good Dave Rant? Want to see the latest Ramsey Show videos going viral? Check out your favorite moments from The Ramsey Show on YouTube. Go watch and subscribe to The Ramsey Show channel on YouTube.